Another inconvenience. This time I forgot that this phone can stop but film 33 minutes or so. Anyways, in this end of the video I was still talking about the momentum, which in general each one tries to conserve. It's a principle of thermodynamics, conservation of mass. We also have conservation of energy. We also have the same principle applied into automotive industry, watching consumptions into the city, into the highway, cruising, of course, into the city, using brakes and accelerating and using brakes again and moving slow, and all this braking situation, of course, increasing your theoretical consumption of energy. So of course in my or your case wouldn't be a thing to heat up the front rotor. Why? We try to don't use brakes, we try to don't lose energy if possible. So again, even maybe with a 160 front rotor, with a 2-piston, that would be, let's say, in theory, easier to increase the heat and make that 2-piston, theoretically inferior piston, to the bigger one, more strong but also dissipating more heat, to work maybe even better, only from the temperature rising, which change the behavior of the brake. But even that is too much to heat up, to make the front or the rear on flat brake to smoke. It's too much, and maybe you gain some heat, you know, but for me I actually don't even touch the front brake, only for emergencies or for different I don't know, let's say not that necessary but pleasant aggressive stops, for pleasure but not necessary. You know, maybe with stoppy or with whatever. So this whole discussion was about the bigger, the better, the stronger 4-piston brake caliper, without even mentioning as a determining factor the weight, also for road bikes, a bit for gravel bikes. The old school guys or the die-hard guys who are with the climbing version of no disc brake, only rim brake version of the road bike, they would actually argue that even aerodynamics, hitting into that rotor, into that caliper, into more spokes, would have an effect, an important effect, but not from me. What I mentioned in the beginning, which drove me nuts, was that sound from the misalignment, which again, having a longer pad, the misalignment, of course, with the longer pad becomes 30 30% more visible, which is in my opinion as a system used in the optimum condition, a good system, but in my case it's actually useless, or even a parasite. Let's say I'm thinking to change the calipers, but it's not a problem of effort. I actually don't know what to do with them, because somehow they look nice, the pads are new, I think I can ride the same pads 3 years, 4 years in the same way without touching the brake. But for a moment I just think about all these factors, and I don't consider myself in the sweet spot of a balanced, at least front brake. So yeah, that's the discussion. I didn't like that noise. In terms of control for the wheels, for the brake, it's brakes, plural. It's very important. It's in my opinion not just safety, but it's your only way to somehow stay safe on the road with the traction, not just with body positioning, but on a motorcycle or a car you have different advantages, like for ABS for average rider, you know, but in the discussion of motorcycle, that you also have throttle, so you can push the rear wheel, you can save the bike if it's low side, and if it's possible to correct and so on, you can just open the throttle a bit and regain control. On the bike you don't have that, you have only the brake. So more so from this perspective, that need to be very balanced, very friendly with you, with your style, with your environment, so it works as a friend, not as a liability or as a enemy. Is not enemy, but as I said, with a lag, always holding you back a bit. But as you saw with the ABS sections in motorcycles, those sections are actually big business. If you talk about a good or a bad ABS system, those gaps are maybe even smaller. With the bike you saw the numbers. So yeah, hopefully I made this clear also for you, also for me. These values I never searched, so after I will think better, maybe I will inform you about what I will decide with this front setup. Maybe I will choose a 160 rotor with a 2-piston caliper. And by the way, I will sell, I have for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years a brand new set of 203 millimeters brake rotors, Shimano SLX SMRT66, which to be honest I think I will never use ever. I didn't even use them. They were fitted, but as you can see, accumulating information, of course, changes you, and what few years ago sounded badass, 200 millimeters rotor on a downhill bike, man, that's in reality is a pain in the hand. Peace.